probably gonna sound weird. It probably came in when I, at a weird point. Hi everyone, what's up?
You should put effects on that.
Yeah, I should put effects on that. What's going on, everyone? This is Daniel and Elizabeth with another episode of the House of I podcast. How the fuck are ya, bruz and
Hello.
bros? Yes. Just a quick little roozy around. I don't know what that is. We have some upcoming dates for ya. Well, obviously, the most recent upcoming one is September 21st at Jada Cole's. We'll be playing there with Ura the Band. I believe that's how you pronounce that. Ura the Band. Excited to hear them and see them. That's going to be fun fucking night. Going back to our roots in Miami. September 26th, we'll be back in St. Pete playing one of our favorite venues, The Benz, with Citrus Horse and Toasted Rye. I've never performed with either of them, and I'm very interested to hear how they sound. Then after that, we're going to be performing October 5th at Cage Brewing with viewers like you, whom have been on this podcast before.
They have.
Don't you fucking smirk at me. She just has this face. But yeah, so those are the most upcoming dates that we have, and you can find those on our social media. We'll be posting about that and whatnot. Still actively booking for more shit. And yeah. What else were we talking about?
The new songs.
Wow, are we doing new songs?
We are.
What
That's
the
amazing.
fuck is that, man?
Well, new songs is when, like, the song is not an old song.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
Wait, is that possible?
it is.
Is that a possible?
I know that it's hard to believe because we've been playing the same fucking set list for years now. But yeah, Kenny came up this weekend. We got a few songs put together. We have two that are pretty much done. Shame and Nothing's Fine.
Nothing's fine.
And then we have two that we're still working on. One is Untitled and the other is Submit.
Yes, which we've been having issues with.
Fucking good song.
Why do you think we're having issues with it?
I really don't know.
It's the beginning of the song, guys.
It's just the first 45 seconds of that song.
It's a 3/4 song for those music heads out there, and it is weird. I'll give them that. It's a waltz, very waltzy. But yeah, we can't figure out the beginning of the song. It's either it's too weird and it doesn't sound right, or it's too simple and it sounds boring. So we're trying to figure out a nice medium between those two.
Which some say is the hardest part to find, man.
Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, that's the, I guess, kind of exciting news for those of you that actually follow us. Yeah, we will be performing new songs soon, which I'm super happy about because, yeah, like Ellie just mentioned, we have been playing a lot of old songs for a bit now, especially off the album Alienation, which you can find on almost any platform that you have. iTunes, Spotify, Bandcamp. Not SoundCloud.
Treat yourself.
But yeah. Anyways, so our guests today, I'm gonna finally introduce them. They're not here right now, but they're on their way. This band, we just recently came across this band. We saw them. No, they saw us first.
At the Benz.
At the Benz, and then I think we were put on a. Yep, that's right. They invited us to play a show.
Green Bench.
At Green Bench, and before that show, we wanted to go check them out. I think was that at Green Bench? Yeah, no, they invited us to play at Cage Brewing. We saw them at Green Bench before.
You're right.
That's what it was. And they were awesome. I fell in love with them immediately. And then they did a Portishead tribute, which I fucking love Portishead, so that was even cooler.
Foo Bar.
At the Foo Bar, that's right. But anyways, the band that we're talking about is Lassyu. So I hope you guys enjoy this episode, and please share and subscribe to our channel. Share this with your friends, your family, anybody who you think would be interested, especially if you live in the area. You know, this is a community podcast, so I hope you guys enjoy it, and yeah, have a great fucking week, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Do you guys have a theme song?
Yeah.
Well, actually, I was
He's like that.
I was gonna ask you guys
to make our theme song.
Can you play a theme song for us real quick?
I like to use we're on, by the way. I like to use the music from the band if they have anything, like that you guys are, if you enjoy it, basically, if you guys think it's worthy of putting on, then I wouldn't mind using your music to put on it. So
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. Awesome.
Amps, can we curse on here?
Yes.
Is this live?
No.
Good.
Yeah. No. Specifically for that reason too. Like, it's already weird for me personally to be talking, because although we can have a conversation normally, like once you turn on the recording, it's
I
always
felt
weird.
Differently right away
Exactly.
when I heard myself in here. Like,
Yeah.
okay.
So to do it live, it would be even worse.
Oh, I know.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm kind of probably not going to ever do that. I'll probably stick to doing it. It's just to make it more comfortable.
I can edit the fuck out of this.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank fucking
Have you
God.
guys been on GNC? Grand National Championships?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you go
That's
in the studio and
Yeah.
I've actually listened to yours a lot.
Yeah.
Yes, I really do. I sing your songs all the time. I'm not even joking. Like,
He was
for
just
real.
walking around doing it.
Yeah.
awesome.
I was, yes. But anyway, so
you're definitely the first person to do a tribute video playing along to our
Yeah,
songs on
with
YouTube.
Anchorage.
So
It was
that was
so
pretty
cool.
awesome.
yeah, no, I mean, for real, like, I wouldn't just say this. You guys are definitely one of my favorite bands here. I mean, honestly, like,
Thank you.
I'm super excited. I know you guys have been recording, right? First of all, we have Lassyu on with us.
Who are we talking to?
Hello, Adam. Hello, Emily.
Hello.
You guys you guys finished recording, correct?
It's in the works. It's actually mastered.
We got the mastered tracks this morning.
Oh my god.
So all that's
7:49
left.
a.m.
Yep. He checked. He was like, "We got him," because it's super exciting. It's a project we've been working on,
Heck
and
yeah.
any album creation is a lot of freaking work. And
It
I don't
is.
know, I think only musicians and other people that are involved realize how much work it is.
Mm-hmm.
So we are working now on. He's doing the graphics for the actual album, which is a lot of fun. We got a local artist, Brooklyn. Do you guys know Brooklyn?
Mm-hmm.
No.
No.
Great
You
artist.
will. Yeah, Brooklyn. How do you look her up? Like,
Her Instagram, Dwight, you ignorant slut.
That's awesome.
Is that
she's
really
an
your
awesome
Instagram?
person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, that's my favorite show.
What show is it?
Oh, that's from The Office. That's a reference to The Office.
Oh, okay. I should know that.
Sorry, I just nerded out. I was like, oh, The Office, yay! But that's awesome. How many songs did you guys do? Sorry. And this is the point of the podcast where it shut off on me. So sorry about that, everyone. The question I just asked Adam was about their album and where they recorded. He ensues to speak about Dan, who recorded him. So that is where you are. Thank you. Bye.
Together, and it's our sound. So.
Well,
highly
Dan was
recommend.
great too, because I kind of told him I've been looking for a guy who wants to be a member of the band in a way. He's not just doing this for work. It's, hey, I want my name on this too. That I helped craft the sound.
He was passionate.
And he was super enthusiastic. He had us come into the studio and just play our entire album for him in the studio. Not asking for. He's like, no, you guys can practice for the next 3 hours.
You
I just
played it
want-
live, basically, for
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Dude.
He just sat there. He asked questions, and then from that he got ideas where in a distorted part he's like, oh, if we use this amp, we double things up, it'll sound this way. I
That's
hear
dope.
what you're going for, and it's like everybody they talk about we're not comparing ourselves to the Beatles, but George Martin, I
Yep.
think he's the fifth Beatle. Without him, they wouldn't have that sound. So
Yeah. Where was that again? I'm sorry.
Rock Garden Studios in
Rock
Pinellas Park.
Artists. I haven't heard that, but I swear to God, I've literally said this before in the past. I said, if you're planning on and if you're taking it seriously, you should go see that band live,
Mhm.
Absolutely.
just
Yeah.
so that you have that idea of what they sound like.
What they're presenting.
Yeah, so that's fucking awesome that he did that with you guys, because I feel like that I've never heard of anyone doing that actually.
Well, that's after tons of experiences where it never ended up sounding like us, I was going to insist on that. I wasn't going to work with somebody that it was just kind of we'll book the time, you guys get in here, we'll get you out, we'll get it done. I want them to be enthusiastic about working with us.
Sure.
Yeah, that's actually, I feel like that should be the standard, to be honest.
I agree. If they're gonna record you, they have to know what they're even going for. It's
Right.
It's just not realistic to be like, yeah, I'll hear your crappy demo and then try to figure it out, for you, or maybe not get with you and then try to put it together last minute. It just doesn't make sense. It really doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
People try that, man.
So where? Let's go back to the beginning because I don't know much about you guys. All I know is I like your music. So where are you guys from originally?
Both. Well, I'm from St. Pete. Originally, I was born in St. Pete.
Mm-hmm.
Second generation.
Same.
Really, both you guys?
Not second generation, but born and raised. Yes.
Damn. See, like, I feel like people. I've said this so many times, but I feel like it's always interesting to meet people from this area because we're not from here. Like I've said many times.
Where are you guys from?
We're from Miami.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So
I'm basically Cuban.
yes. Everyone down there is. But yeah, it was a weird thing coming up here and just kind of like experiencing a different culture, you know. And
It's much more lax than Miami.
Yes. Yes,
and
it is.
cheaper.
Yeah, it's weird, man. Like Kenny lives down there now, and he doesn't really talk about it much, but I know that it's the case. Like he can tell the difference between like Miami and Tampa or St. Pete, whatever. But so when did you guys start playing music, and what inspired that? I guess.
Individually or together?
No, individually.
And then together.
I mean, unless you guys started playing together.
First. Yeah, right.
Well, I've always been drawn to music. If I was at a friend's house and they had a piano, I would play it. If they had a guitar, I'd play it. Like even when I was young, I just was drawn to it. My parents got me a keyboard, a Casio SK1. I think when I was like 10 years old. It's got the little sampling thing. You can make fart noises in it and change the pitch. And then I found one later at a garage sale too. But like my dad played music. He gave me a clarinet. Like, and he just is a music guy. He gave me my first stereo when I was young. So it's just kind of been like. I don't know, I've always been drawn to it, but I think I traded all of my comics for my first guitar.
Oh, man.
Every comic I had for a guitar, a distortion pedal, and an amp.
That's a good trade, man.
Changed my life, yeah.
What comics were they, though?
Oh, I wish I had them back. Yeah, it was like the original 4-part Punisher series.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, there was a lot of good ones, but
that was a good question.
I don't even think about that anymore. I put it out of my memory.
Why'd you ask him?
That's funny. My dad is actually super into comics, and he keeps all his, like, he has like a box, more than a box. He's got multiple boxes full of like all his old freaking comics. It's pretty funny. Mm-hmm. But so you were self-taught then? Yeah,
I've never taken a lesson. I did that trade in high school my freshman year. And my older cousins both played music too. I got that guitar, then got a better one from my cousin Chris after I'd started playing for a while. But never, I always played sports, but I never wanted to do it organized. I was just too punk rock.
We talked about that. Basketball. We talked about basketball. That's pretty cool. Yeah, no, so that's...
No lessons ever, just self-taught.
Yeah, that's kind of the same here. I mean, when I was in high school, I took jazz, and they tried to teach, but I didn't listen.
Tried to take wild
I was taught by and with friends in garages, in sweaty garages, pretty much.
Yeah, that's
the way it should be.
Yeah, it should be that way. I started playing Rock Band. That was like my introduction to like. Nah. Yeah, I swear to God. Well, and I'm 25, so you know, like that was a thing then in high school, and then I just started looking up how to play like Beatles songs on YouTube, and
For real?
Yes. Yeah, and that's how I started playing guitar. I was like trying to do.
I always wondered, like, if Rock Band would lead to people playing guitar, you know?
I would say...
I suck at Rock Band. I cannot play
Me
that.
too.
It's horrible.
Me too. You put me on the drums. I can't do it. If it's not on easy, I can't do it. I don't know what it is. I can't.
Yeah. It is different. It's like completely different.
But you would think, though, like... A lot of people say that it's pretty realistic. I mean, Serge said that he literally learned how to play an actual song from playing that. And he was like, okay, so just do the same thing and then he could do it. And I'm like, I don't understand.
But it's different, isn't it?
It lands on the beat. Well, I'm talking about drums though.
But the timing is a little weird though, because I did it recently. Like I tried to go back and play it again, and I would consider myself an okay drummer.
Okay.
And I tried to, and it was like really, really fucking hard. I was like, what the fuck? I used to like rip this song. You know what I'm saying? It was weird. It was so strange.
I think, and I don't know if that's what happens when I get to my head. I can't do it. 1, 2. This doesn't make sense.
It's like, I know this fucking song. I play this shit for real.
It's so bad.
So where did you get your start then, Emily?
I started, I think, around 14, because we had family friends that played guitar and sang. It's this guy named Gary Colosi. He's like my godfather, and he had a son named Jake Colosi. He's like my godbrother, and they do gigs together, and it's Jake and Daddy-O is their name, their gig name. So they would always, like, at any family gatherings, they would just sit down and start singing and playing, and it was always beautiful, harmonizing and stuff. So I saw that, and when I got to high school, I was like, crap, I need to do something to be cool, because I'm not. So my brother and I went halvesies on this Squire Bullet. It was a $60 guitar from Musician's Friend. It was awful, and it was only $30 each, so we shared that. And
you paid less than for the guitar you have now.
yeah, exactly. That's way better. Lower and lower.
Moving on down.
Yeah,
You only get one for free.
it's more of a challenge, you see, to sound good.
How to
So-
get a Les Paul for free.
Yeah, it'll happen someday, I still believe. But yeah, so then I took a guitar class, but then they tried to teach you music, and I did not like it. It's kind of like driving a stick shift. I've tried multiple times, and if I like focus for a good hour or two, I might be able to read like one note or go to one gear, but I don't like coming back to it at all. So yeah, same thing, self-taught, and like just finding people who would show you a little something, and then you go along with that. And ultimate guitar, like guitar tabs.
That's what I did too.
That's
yeah.
I did that too,
all
yeah.
my time. It's cool.
I used to
I
tab
use it.
out songs on Guitar Pro.
Really?
I don't know if you ever.
Like you would write the tabs?
Yes.
I've never met someone that did that.
Yeah,
That's
I
crazy.
mean that's how Kenny and I first started sending songs to each other was through there. Like we would literally.
That's how you met?
No.
Oh, I was
no.
There's a website for that.
No, I
That's
actually.
funny. Musician's friend.
Hey, who else tabs out here?
How did your band form?
Tablature.
We just
We wrote tabs for each other.
We found each other in a tab chat room.
I love the way you
It'd be the
wrote
worst story ever, dude.
End.
No, I think it's a 7, not an 8.
that. Next corny musician movie.
No, I actually met Kenny in middle school, way before music, actually. Yeah.
Cool.
We went to the same middle school. We played basketball together. We played baseball in the same league, and then in high school, after playing rock band for a year or something, we're like, let's start a band. So we did, and then it's been history ever since. But okay, so then what were some of your influences and like early influences?
Paramore.
Really, Paramore? Really?
I loved Paramore because she's like, she was my age, and she would just like would rock out, and her voice was amazing. I mean, it
Yes.
still is amazing, but they kind of sold out. But
Uh-oh.
I'll always be like, that was a huge inspiration for me,
I would have never thought that.
I know I don't tell very many people, but
Now you've
I've
told,
decided to be
Should they-
open about it.
Now you've told the 2 people that listen to this that.
Made me
judge
sit
me.
through a couple hours of Paramore on the
I
on the
wasn't
tour.
a couple out. Yeah, we just came back from tour, and so we switch off music. Like,
Here,
who gets
check
to
this
play
out.
the music, and it's very different what comes out of Tina Tibbs, I'll tell
That's
you what.
funny.
Well, she's like that too. She has a
You
couple.
see, like I
guilty
really like Green
pleasures.
Day.
What?
Like Green
See,
Day's
there's
my
your guilty
shit.
pleasure.
Yeah, like Green Day's my shit.
We all
but like
got it.
early Green Day.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
it stops at American Idiot, Like 1 or 2 songs from there, I'm not gonna lie.
Right,
But
right.
then it's everything like it's just I don't know, it's my shit. Burnout.
I get it.
That
Get
drum
it.
solo he does, that song is so good. Fuck.
It's
It
aight.
happens. Yeah, whatever.
It's
You
aight.
can play that. Bro.
So what's your guys' guilty pleasure band that,
Yeah, what's yours, Adam?
I don't know. You have to go first.
that you're
Daniel.
embarrassed about loving?
You don't seem like you have one.
Oh,
Everyone
give me
has
a-
one.
That I'm embarrassed about. Usually, if I like them, I'm just like, yeah, I don't care if you don't like them.
That's true, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should be that way too. Yeah. Mine is.
Give me
probably
some time. I'll think about
3-6 Mafia, Project Pat.
But those are cool.
But it's like
It's really bad though.
being older now and listening back to it. I still like it. Don't get me wrong. I'll still listen to it, but it's so ghetto. It's so like. Ooh, I don't even know how to
Just
explain
say
it.
that.
It's not like Kendrick Lamar, you know what I'm saying? Where
Yeah.
it's a very heady, it's heady rap, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I guess that's, and I don't know about rock music. I don't really, I mean, I started listening to the Beatles, and I would never consider that guilty pleasure music. So
Well,
Nice.
if you say Green Day is a guilty pleasure, I mean, they're only like a year older than me, and I actually saw them in Ybor City in like '89.
Really?
What?
Yeah.
The night I was born.
Yeah, I didn't know if I could say that. I didn't know if I could say it. I'm like, I was born in '89. That's insane. Holy shit.
Yeah.
we have
I was
talked
huge
about
into
that.
Green Day when they first came out. Yeah.
Yeah, Green Day was the shit,
Bay.
dude. They
Green Bay.
were awesome, dude.
There's actually, if you go on to YouTube and put in Green Day Paint Factory, there's a video. I shot it, although I don't know where the guy got the tape. And other people I could send you to can corroborate that I actually shot the video, and it's like from '89.
That's fucking awesome.
They had a different drummer.
Yeah, they had a different drummer.
It was
for
called
that
the
first
Paint
album.
Factory. It was a warehouse.
Oh.
It was just a warehouse on the north side of I-4.
And this must have been like before they were big or anything.
Oh yeah,
right?
first tour. They were only like 16 years old. I was 15.
Aww.
Dude, that's fucking.
Yeah.
Little
that's
Green
crazy.
So-
Were they good?
Little Green
Oh, it was
Day.
awesome. They were amazing. I
So-
mean, they already had the first 7-inch was out, and they were on Lookout Records.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the youngest is Billy, and the moment he graduated high school, he got to a van and just drove off. That was it.
Yeah, that seems like a good idea.
I said I was
He
gonna
just
do
left.
that, and I didn't.
I did not.
Yeah, but I threatened my parents the whole like high school. I was like, as soon as I'm out of here, man. I'm gonna move in with my sister. But she didn't want me to move in anyway.
That's funny. I would definitely say Green Day is a guilty pleasure. Because now that I can play everything that they can play, I'm like, oh, come on, man. Come on, you guys are better than that.
There's definitely worse, I feel. I do remember actually purchasing a Backstreet Boys album when I was a kid.
It's good shit.
Wow.
I did that.
Which album?
Fuck, I don't
Describe
know.
the cover.
Probably it was, the CD cover was like blue. It
I'm
was like blue
ready.
graffiti. Blue
Yeah, that
graffiti.
was
That one was
What's my
whack,
favorite?
dude. You fucking.
Dude, fuck you, man.
that was the
like,
best one.
I like
Millennium.
Millennium, of course. There's Millennium.
I was
dude.
like
I was
11.
hoping you'd say Millennium. Then I'd be like, bro.
My first album was Marshall Mathers LP. That was the first album I bought. So
Nice.
that's pretty solid for a kid. I
My
have to
first
say.
CD
Well, but it was
uh,
edited, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Yeah. If I had
You went straight to 3-6 Mafia right after that.
And I was like, fuck you. Shit.
fuck you, mom.
I want to hear the curse words, Mom.
Yeah, my first CD was Alanis Morissette, Jagged Little Pill, and I traded my sister. No, she wanted to trade me an M&M. I had a bag of M&Ms or something like that. And I was
I
like,
Wait,
You meant an Eminem album.
That's a good
oh
segue.
no, like the candy.
That's a good trade.
Right?
you get the album, it's just gone in a couple
Yeah.
minutes. And
Yeah, no, it was the candy, not the album.
Not the rapper.
Not the rap. No, not the candy rapper.
Damn. Eminem will never hear this, but fuck you, bro. That was a rip.
But I think I said no or
That's
something. I forget.
I'm
but,
gonna eat these M&Ms. Like you couldn't just go get more at the store.
Yeah.
Fuck you, I want these.
But at that age with an allowance, yeah, that was a big deal, right?
I wonder if I took that CD from her. I don't know.
Anyways,
I don't
right?
remember.
I took a lot of CDs from my sister.
Oh,
Aqua.
that's funny because that was totally a thing. My brother had this huge thing of CDs, and it was like gold for me. He would literally threaten me. He said, "If you break any of my fucking CDs, I swear to God, bro." And I would just like be so careful with them. I lost one. He got super mad at me. Yeah, it was a Crazy Bone Thug Mentality. I lost one of those. It was a 2-disc thing, but yeah, that fucking. Sorry, Jonathan. I love
And
you,
that's
bro.
why my arm bends this way.
That album sucks anyways, bro.
No.
I've never heard of Crazy Bone.
He's a
One
member
of
of
the-
Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Sounds crazy.
He's one of the
Yeah.
bones.
Oh,
One of
that
the
makes
Bones.
sense.
Yep.
I should.
They all have bone in their name.
What's
that's the thing.
the
Do they?
first names of
Yeah.
Thugs in Harmony?
Oh, you silly goose. So where did you guys meet? How did you guys start playing together?
At an art. So he prints shirts, does screen printing,
Mhm.
and a long time ago, I got a shirt printed on by him, like
At
just
one art show.
at one art show, and then I was wearing it. Was I wearing it?
No, you came up to get a shirt on
So
another
got,
denim
I'll
shirt.
tell you this about Adam right now. He's got an eidetic memory, which means he doesn't forget anything, which could be good and bad.
I can go back into scenes and walk through them and see everything, and
which is good and bad.
And I don't have a memory, so that does work out sometimes. But yeah, so then he was like, "Oh, I printed that shirt for you like a year ago. It was this and this and this and this and this," and I was like, "Yeah, cool."
I want to get another one printed. How much?
Yeah, exactly. So then for some reason we started talking about music, and I was like, "Yeah, we have this band and we're looking for a bass player," and he was like, "Well, I play bass and I like to write music and I'm very responsible." And I was like, "Well, that sounds good." And then a couple months later, I called him and he came out and he hasn't left.
How long ago was that?
A little over 2 years ago now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So it's not even that long ago.
The art show was April of 2016. Is right before I went to Costa Rica. Yeah, and then came back. We ran into each other at Green Bench and was like, "Oh yeah, let's do this." And went to the practice, and it was funny because we played for maybe 30 minutes and took a break. And she's like, "So do you want to join the band?" Not like, "We'll talk about it. Yeah, we'll give you a call."
So you're in the band, right?
And here we are.
So Emily, you started the band.
That was called Jackrabbit.
Yeah, it was a different band.
Okay.
It was the same. It was us two, and then the same drummer that was previously in Lassyu, and then a guitarist, and then eventually the guitarist left, and then we had Lassyu.
Okay.
We changed the name after that because we just wanted like a fresh start, you know.
And you guys didn't use the same songs?
No, we dropped a couple, but a lot of them we played because they were
Ours.
ours in a way, not inspired by the other guitar player.
Gotcha.
Okay.
We're the main songwriters in the band. That's why we're still
have always been,
continuing on
yeah.
so strongly right now as a duo. So.
Yeah. No, and I was actually I always like getting into that. If you guys don't mind, I like getting into more detail.
Dirty shit.
Yeah, because.
So how much heroin did you guys actually shoot?
6 grams.
6 grams.
All of
I
it.
don't know how much that is.
Because it's the way that I guess the melodies, for example, on the guitar, the bass. I mean, they're so melodic. They're so nice. How does that typically work? Is it do you ever come in with the bass line and then bring it to her?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's kind of like it's kind of like an even thing.
Yeah. For the most part, the idea is it's 50-50 as far as we bring the inspiration. And then we work on it together. We usually just jam on it, and then we hear stuff. Sometimes we'll play things for 30 minutes and record it, and then we go back and sort of mine it and pick out the good stuff, and then condense it and arrange it. So yeah, I pick up an instrument every day, and it's like sometimes it's awesome, sometimes it's not. But I'll record them on my phone and then bring them to practice, and we try it out. That's how pretty much.
Usually, you'll just start playing something, and it'll be like, oh.
Yeah, that happens too. Yeah, or I'll make something up on the spot. But yeah, I'll just start playing a bass line, and she goes like right up to the mic and just starts belting. And that's usually honestly, that's usually our best songs when she just feels it and just starts belting it out,
and it works. Yeah.
And as long as we record that initial reaction, because otherwise then I start thinking too much and then
you lose it. Yeah.
Lose it. Yeah.
Yep, that happens to me too. If I don't record it, I'm like, what was that?
Yeah.
Setting
No one
that I had in
knows.
my head?
No one knows.
Even if I record something on my phone, I usually have like a setting or like a theme that I want the song to feel like. You get what I'm saying? Because that's kind of how I think when I write songs. I think about how do I want this to feel. And sometimes if I do that without, I guess, being detailed enough in the voice memo or whatever, I'll lose it. Even if the melody's there, even if the instrument's there. It's really weird. I kind of hate that about that aspect, but yeah, anyway.
Yeah, it's fun when you do have the song and you're able to bring that emotion right back up during your performance,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love freaking music so much.
That's probably the indication that's a good song. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because you can just go right back into that. If it's not, then it's probably not worth.
It's probably not a good
time.
song.
Right.
Yeah, probably.
It probably sucks.
Yeah, you should not play that song.
How long does it take you guys to write? Like, do you guys typically write a song in full, or is it just a part and then you bring it to each other?
Well, pretty much, it's pretty fast actually how quickly we write a song once we have something that we're like that could be possibly a song. We'll I'd say 2 weeks we'll have something that's presentable, and we'll play it even if it's not finished, and then just keep playing it, and eventually it evolves into, something else.
Yeah.
So like, there's a song, Garden Variety, that.
I like that song. That's the newest one you've been playing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
I like that
psychedelic.
Yep.
But yeah, so that, I mean.
Well, I wrote that on guitar like a year ago.
Okay.
And just played it, recorded it, and then was going through recordings on my phone. Oh, I got to work with this. Yeah, I forgot about that, and brought it to practice, thinking that maybe I would play guitar. But then I was like, wait, let me try it on bass, and then it just became what it was. And I think we jammed 2 weeks in a row, just kept playing it over and over again. Lots of different variations of it. Listened to it, and then picked out the nuggets, and now it's our.
And that's not even on the new album because it's so new.
Yeah, it's brand new. Yeah, because I remember you mentioning that. I think the first time I heard it was at, was it
Green Bench.
Was it Green Bench?
Yeah, it was the first time we played.
Okay, but as a duo or
at all? We hadn't played it out.
Okay, so that was the first time, because I remember thinking like, fuck yeah, that was so tight. Yeah,
It's fun.
Yeah, no, it was really cool.
We're already ready to do our next album.
Really? Already? You guys have that many new songs?
Pretty much.
Holy shit, dude!
That's
Fuck
what
yeah.
I'm saying.
New
Constantly.
and old that just weren't recorded too. You know, it's.
Yeah. I would say that we could do that too, though, with all the songs that we haven't taught Emmett.
That's true.
We could probably have an album easily.
Yeah.
Not that we want all of those songs, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, one of the songs on the album, 3 is Dancier Than 2 is what I just labeled it in my phone, and then all my working titles become the actual song title.
Because they're just perfect. They're weird and they're perfect.
Garden Variety. That's one that came like that too.
That's funny.
But that was another one. I had the bass riff on my phone, and we only were going to do 10 songs for the album. And like a month before we were recording the album, I was like, hey guys, let's just try this. It's this cool riff. And within a week, it was like, no, that's going on the album.
That's fucking
That's
dope.
how we work sometimes.
That's cool. How do you guys I guess the lyrics. What do you write lyrics? You guys separately write lyrics? How does that work exactly?
I'd say for the most part I write lyrics, and I definitely, he's helped me a lot.
A couple of them we've worked on them together, written them together.
If I,
What would you say is like the theme typically, or is it different every time?
teenage angst.
Is it really?
No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, that's kind of what our stuff is about.
I mean, it's totally different every time. Like, we're actually gonna work on a song that he brought. And do you want to tell it? Because it's pretty freaking cool. We're excited about it. I think it's like the perfect recipe for a song that's gonna be like so heartfelt. So his grandparents, Dot and Jack, he wrote this riff, and it's a beautiful riff.
It's a waltz, actually.
A waltz, because I like the timing. And he played it for me, and I was like, yeah, I like that. So he taught me how to play it. And then he's got this love letter that Jack wrote to Dot like many, many years ago.
From a motel room in Kansas City at 2 a.m.
That's fucking badass.
He would go travel for 6 weeks at a time as a salesman, and he just couldn't sleep. He missed her. He wrote and we found it when they passed away. So the crazy story about my grandparents is they were married for 67 years. They passed away 24 hours apart from each other.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, it's just crazy.
That's intense, yeah.
So we're gonna take from this love letter snippets and make it into lyrics for the song. We don't have lyrics yet, but we're gonna read the letter and see like how we can form it into lyrics for this song.
Well, you kind of gave it a vocal attempt.
Yeah,
and
we
came up
have
with some melodies.
We have a melody all set.
That's what we do a lot. Is she kind of like feels the inspiration, puts something out there, and then
It's mumbo jumbo.
Yeah, and then take those melodies and put actual meaning to them.
You guys both work on melodies typically?
We're working on. I mean,
Yeah, I come up with ideas and give her my ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's it hasn't necessarily happened too often with Kenny where we work on melodies together. We kind of write songs separately and then bring them together. But with another person that I write music with, we literally go note for note sometimes for like the melody. We're very specific, like where are we going here? You know what I'm saying? With the let's say like the chord changes are like, oh, we want to go to this note here. You know, so it's like I was just wondering how you guys
that's
wrote.
interesting.
Much more loose and organic with us, I guess. It's kind of like belted out. That sounds awesome. Okay, let's work with that.
Yeah, that's how House of I is. That we're definitely a lot more organic. Yeah, I would say. I don't. It's so weird because I can talk for hours about with like Kenny's different because he writes differently than I do. We both do, and it just happens to work out.
I just play drums, so that's what I do.
Great at it.
But no, it's interesting to hear that from a drummer's perspective, where it is that different. Like, I can think, oh, this is a song Daniel wrote, so it's going to be weird. And this is a song that Kenny wrote, so I can kind of write it out. He's okay with something being repetitive or something really simple, whereas Daniel's not. You have to do a fill there. Otherwise, it's not going to work. And I'm like, all right. That's it.
I've kind of come up with this idea about like where songs come from. To me, it's like three places. It's either from your mind, from your head. It's like mathy. It's a formula. It's that aspect of music. It can come from your heart, like be emotional and make you feel something, or it's just from like your crotch, like it's just rocking.
From your balls,
from your gut, it's just rocking. And sometimes songs are combinations of those. But in all the bands I've been in, like I know some people that are very distinctively like it's from their head.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a formula. It's like, oh, we'll play this part 3 times, then that 2, and then that 4, and it's not like feeling it. It's they see it as a,
for sure.
That
just
is
a different way.
I'm a little bit like that. I'm not gonna lie. There is definitely an aspect of organicness, but I get stuck a lot, and I don't really care if anyone hears this, but usually sometimes I'll write out 2 different parts and I'll put them together, like literally separate things, and I'll just I guess change the key of one thing to fit the other thing, and as long as the rhythms are relatively like they flow. But yeah, it is a weird thing to think of it in structures. You get what I'm saying? Like it should be a good balance of both, I guess.
Planned and
organic. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because I feel like the source is always organic. But
Well, I think we do organic in the creation, and then in the sort of narrowing it down, it becomes more analytical and like, okay, we do it this many times. It's like fine tuning it.
Yes.
That's honing the emotional, attack in a way.
That's a good, I feel like, that sounds about right to me.
Honing the emotional attack. I like that.
Emotional Attack?
Yeah.
That sounds like a good album name.
Right?
Have you guys...
Start putting beers in me, shit just starts coming out.
Have you guys released the name of the album or anything?
Park Tree.
Park Tree?
Park Tree.
What is that?
That's how pirates say Park Tree.
What does that come from?
Another working title. that was like me playing bass for like an hour and recording different sections, and then that was the third section, and I was like, oh, like Part 3, like with an accent.
Oh,
I labeled it that way
3.
instead of Part 3, and it was just like, oh, it's funny, and then I said that was how I wrote it, and that just became that they liked it so much it became the name.
There's a song called Part 3 as well.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It came from my phone labeled under Part 3. And I wanted to name the album like Parts 3 and 4, so people would think it was like a typo, like it's supposed to be 3. No, it's supposed to be 3.
Parts 3 and 4. Yeah. That's funny.
That reminds me of my favorite joke. Why does an Irish can of beans only have 239 beans in it? If there was one more, it'd be too farty.
Are you Irish?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My dad was raised in Ireland and then moved here when he was like 27.
Oh, shit,
I'm
dude.
seriously Irish.
Are you technically then a first generation?
Well, if my mom was
half
born in
first generation.
Wisconsin.
Okay, then no. Yeah.
Dang it!
I guess I wouldn't be either then, because my mom was born in Puerto Rico, so that wouldn't count either. Although some Americans wouldn't know that. They'd be like, what?
Puerto Rico.
It's not country, boy. What are you doing over there?
They'd say it like that.
What you doing, boy? I'm sorry, that's so offensive.
He had that accent for a day on tour. Just
Yeah,
popped
we were
out
in
of
North
nowhere.
Carolina and South Carolina and Georgia. Actually, that whole area, it's all very southern.
How was that? Was that your first tour together?
Mm-hmm.
How was
For
that?
me, it was my first tour ever.
Ever.
It's a dream come true.
Yeah.
And now, I want to play every night on tour.
Yeah. That,
awesome.
technically speaking, you could do that.
I know.
You just would. It would be rough for the first like 5 years, you know.
Probably more.
Yeah, probably more.
For the rest of your life, it'd be rough.
I mean,
It's called a cover band.
yeah.
Paramore cover band.
That's the thing too. It's. I know there's There's one band specifically, North by North, that we played with at the Hub, and they do that. It's just a duo. Have you
When
played with them?
Particles Collide did that too, a duo.
Yeah, and I talked to them a little bit about how they're doing it, and she was just like, yeah, we just basically sold everything. We bought this touring van, and that's what we do. That's our life. And I'm like, fuck. Like, damn, I want to do that. Yeah, it's super tempting, but...
You have to be on the road planning the shows 2 months out.
They were probably a couple too, weren't they?
I don't think so.
No?
I don't think so.
We're
Well,
crazy.
they
I
should
don't know.
be. I guess.
I mean, I guess that would
Living
be...
together.
Yeah, that would be difficult if you weren't.
If you were or
If
were
you
not.
weren't.
Right.
Yeah.
I would say it's
Well,
difficult either way.
yeah. Spending that much
Absolutely.
time with somebody, yeah.
They probably hate each other's guts secretly.
I don't know. I don't want to
We're
speak
happy.
for them.
We're on tour forever.
But yeah, so I guess... Yeah, how was that for you? Go ahead, talk
Oh,
some
it
more
was
about
awesome.
that.
Absolutely. Every
Mm,
night
mm.
that we weren't playing, we were scoping out possible venues, so that was fun because it's going, night on
Seeing
the town,
shows
seeing,
and-
bands. We got camping in the mountains for 2 nights because we had off nights. And then actually playing the shows in these historic places was phenomenal. We're going to actually do it again in November.
Tomorrow we're sending out the emails for
Yeah, to book it again in mid-November.
That's
We're going to
fucking
have
cool.
Danny
Pacheki.
Pacheco.
Danny
Danny P.
Exactly.
That's the way he
is
plays
gonna
drums.
be-
Danny.
He's gonna drum for us again for that tour until we find a drummer.
He played in Charlotte for us. That was the first show on the tour.
Mm-hmm.
And it was funny. We were all just kind of blown away because we had literally met him 3 weeks before that night,
Yeah, that's crazy.
and he was playing. His first show with us was in Charlotte, of all places.
Yeah, that's impressive. I mean, that's all it's gonna say is how good he is as a drummer, basically. But yeah, that's pretty cool because your music isn't necessarily. You need to listen. You know what I'm saying? It's not like it's just a straightforward 4/4. You guys have a lot of complex changes and stuff like
Right.
that, and dynamics as well. I would say so. That's cool. That's really.
I said that about the drummer the other night. Well, we played the other night at the Hub with a certain band, and
Oh.
the drummer was just really enthusiastic, and like, he already had the drum set set up, and we've been using the drum machine for a couple of songs, and he's
wanna
like,
play drums for
he's
you
like,
guys?
dude, if you want me to sit down, man, just give me a wink, and I'll come up play
Oh
some
my
live.
I was like, Adam,
live
please
drums.
don't get something in your eye, man.
Please do not win
Yeah.
whatever you
Yeah.
do.
And he was like, I'm not gonna look at him at all.
Dude,
Yeah, just like wow, like I was like, no, that's cool. I would like to practice before we
Yeah.
play
That's
together.
crazy.
But I mean, I appreciate your enthusiasm. but-
yeah, your music is not.
You
It's
can't
not
do that.
simple like that. It's really not, man. We had that one time where we didn't have a bass player for a while, and I just this like old jam guy was like, "Hey, I see you guys don't have a bass player.
Oh my God, I remember that,
And
yeah.
he was like, he would not stop insisting.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, no, man, like. No, we're good. I promise.
Yeah.
You're not gonna know any of the songs. Like it's not easy. It's not just a straightforward.
Right.
He's like, oh, just tell me the key. And I'm
It's
like,
not the blues. Yeah,
it's not blues exactly. So, but yeah, that was
That's
weird.
crazy to me that people can think that they can actually do that. I don't know.
Well, I get
I
it
mean,
though.
I guess if you're a Jason Mraz cover band, like I could probably do that.
Yeah, if you're playing in a blues band or in a I guess.
Oh, blues, but yeah, that'd be easy. It's
Yeah,
just
super
formulas,
easy.
you
It's
know.
basically
Yeah.
improv the whole time, But yeah, fuck that. Sorry. I'm glad that
Didn't he like walk up to us like during our set too?
Yeah, he actually went on stage and picked up a bass.
Nuh-uh.
Yes, he did. He sure
It-
did.
Wasn't his bass, right?
Did they
it was
Linda
a house-
McCartney
it
him
was
where
a
he wasn't
house thing.
actually on?
No, he was on. It was the only thing I will say is that it was during we did play like a couple covers back then. It was a Come Together
Oh, maybe
cover.
maybe it was
but
yeah.
still,
That's right.
like
You don't do that.
we don't
do you?
even
Yeah.
play it the same way. Actually, we played it. Have you guys ever listened to the Love album that they released? Well, the ending of the song is completely different from the recording, and that's the way we were doing it. It actually would go into Dear Prudence like that, whatever. But we did that, and like afterwards, like, all right, man, please get the fuck off. Like,
I can't imagine somebody like, oh, I know this song, and just like walking up on
there,
stage.
yeah, man.
It's so
crazy.
awkward.
it was.
Because you have to be, like, you try to be nice, and how do you nicely tell someone to get the fuck off this stage, you know?
It was hard enough that the night at, when we played with you guys at Mad Beach, when the lady's like, play Alanis Morissette.
Oh my God.
Like, we're not doing covers.
But yeah, she asked like a different cover for each band.
Yeah.
Ours was Alanis Morissette. You guys were
Which
REM.
I made a nice joke out of that.
What'd you say?
I was like, what are you talking about? Sleep right now?
Oh, that's
She was
right.
like, I see what you did there. I was like, yeah, lady, get out
Well,
of here.
That's actually how she sounded too.
Oh, and then the dude, when Jordan was like, Danny, and he comes out to the car.
Dude, that was so awkward, man.
Danny, get in there.
Oh yeah, because you were in the car with him. Yeah, he was right there. Dude, that was so bad.
I don't think we talked about that. Yeah, that was basically Jordan Esker was playing, and I was gonna play 2 songs with him, and I think one of them I didn't practice, so I didn't want to. He called me up on stage. I said, "Oh, I don't know this song." I went outside with Adam and Ellie, and then this fucking drunk guy just followed us. Hey, Danny, get in there! If I don't see him, get in there! And he literally followed us, and Adam just kind of like, he just stayed outside like, what the fuck you gonna do, bro? I was like, don't worry, man, I'm gonna go inside, I promise. He was like, are you promise me? You promise me? And some illegal things were about to ensue, so I was like, dude,
Get
you're
out,
fucking
man. Go. Shoot.
cramping up our style right now, man. That was so...
And then when you went up and played, I think he left.
He did?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think he was even
I don't think
inside
he
when
was
you were
even
playing.
What a fucking douchebag.
He was just
Jesus
drunk, dude. He was
Christ,
drunk.
man. Drunk people are the worst, man. They get such a bad rap to fucking alcohol.
I'm sorry.
Let's have another one.
No, I love drinking, and it's just like they give such a bad rap, man. It's so stupid. But anyway, fuck that. Did you guys like have anything crazy happen on tour? We have a story, but go ahead.
Crazy. Pretty much the whole time was crazy. I mean, it was like so packed nonstop. Literally the dullest times were. Yeah, that was crazy. Okay. Literally dullest times were just driving in new places. You know, I mean,
yeah.
We set it up. So the first night we drove to St. Augustine, and went to check out a place called Planet Sarbez, the band The Young Step that we played with.
Oh, okay.
They played there all the time.
Fuck yeah.
And we were trying to get a show at the time, but it didn't happen. But it was hilarious. I'm wearing one of the Lassyu shirts. We walk up to the front door, and the guy's like, "Oh, you guys know that band from like Tampa, right?"
I'm in that band.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
It was like, how do you know them? I thought he was going to say something bad about them. I was like, wait, it's our band. But yeah, he's the guy we were talking to online,
okay.
About booking. But it was just crazy. Like, this is our first stop, and he knows the name of the band.
Yep.
So yeah, we went there. We played some pinball, heard some bands. Then we went to another place called Shanghai Nobby's, like 2 blocks down. Like the Planet Sarbez is more like the indie place, and that's more like the punk rock place.
Okay.
But then I drove to Charlotte. We stopped at the UFO Welcome Center in Bowman, South Carolina. This guy has built a giant wooden flying saucer. Yeah, and like he thinks that the aliens are going to come stop there on their first trip.
Of course.
Got a picture of her like all the way up at the top of the thing, like out in this tower. Yeah.
That's
The best part of that, because I accidentally found the place back in the late 90s, because my girlfriend's last name was Bowman. We're like, oh, let's just stop there and see what it is. Take a right turn, and there's the UFO Welcome Center. And he asked us how we found it, and I was like, I told him that story, and he gets this weird look. He's like,
I recognize you.
He's like, tell me, how have you not aged? And I go, because I'm from another planet.
Oh shit.
His eyes got all big. Like, yeah.
Yeah, that's funny.
But yeah, then we played in Charlotte that night. I mean, the Waffle House was a little crazy, but nothing too after that show. It was a little.
What do you mean you have to?
It was. Well, there were 2 police officers stationed outside the Waffle House, if that gives you any indication of.
So something went down, basically.
Well, no, they were just out there hanging out.
It was a
And
party.
sure that
It was a waffle
nothing's-
party.
Yeah, nothing's going
Gotcha.
down there. Yeah.
I see. Security.
There was like a line out the door.
Really?
Yeah, and everyone was shit-faced wasted, including us.
Yeah. Especially us after our first show in Charlotte.
Yeah.
But yeah, then we went to Greenville, South Carolina. There's a place called the Radio Room there. They have a couple bands from St. Pete have played there. I think that's how we found it. But we went and there was an event called like Band Camp 4, and they had 6 or 7 bands from the area. Some were good, some not good. But there was this rapper there named Flaco Torres from Akron, Ohio. He was amazing. The dude's like there. Like he's about to make it big.
That's awesome.
Real drummer, live drummer who was phenomenal. Like the DJ hype guy. And his songs were original. They were funky. It wasn't like just normal like stuff you'd hear 10 other guys doing. Great show. He's going out into the crowd and dancing with people, and yeah, that was a lot of fun. It was worth the whole night.
It's fun.
Yeah, then from there, accidentally got into the Hendersonville Apple Festival.
Got stuck in that traffic.
Which that's never fun, being stuck in traffic, especially on the way to like your next gig.
Well, or into the mountains. Like, let's just get out of the city. Damn it. But yeah, then we went and camped Linville Falls, and we went on a hike there. She wanted to do a strenuous hike, so it was like all the way down to the waterfall, then all the way back up. It was awesome. Yeah.
That's cool, man. Yeah, I don't know, man. That the tour thing just made me realize that this is like ultimately what I want to be doing in my life.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like there's nothing. I mean, the last one that we did was also my first tour as well. And we didn't even go out of state. You guys went out of state. That's fucking awesome. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it just made me realize that honestly, there's not really much else in life that I'd rather be doing. And I fucking have a degree in marine biology. And it's like,
really?
I should want to do shit like that. But I mean, I like it. Don't get me wrong. I think it's awesome. But it's just not my passion. My passion is making music. So it's weird. It's a weird feeling, when you're just like, damn, I want to do this all the fucking time.
Well,
it's weird if you don't get it, I guess.
Yeah.
The thing I found from playing in other cities in front of people you don't know is when they come up to you afterwards and they're like enthusiastic, it's like pretty genuine. You made an impact on somebody. I've played bad shows here where my friends were like, "You guys are awesome." Yeah. Like, no, we weren't.
Yeah.
Like, just tell me that. Be honest.
You lying sack of shit.
Yeah. But yeah, when it's somebody they don't have any real reason to lie to you, or like why would they do that?
Yeah.
Some people, I guess, might, but yeah, it's just always this really sweet, honest, genuine reaction, and it makes you feel so good. Like I put the time into this, and I drove all the way here and played it for you, and you're that into it. Thank you. It's one of the most honest feelings I've ever had.
I mean, you guys deserve it. That's the truth. I'm not lying. I mean, I hope you guys continue making music, because I don't see why you wouldn't be able to fucking make a living off of it, to be honest.
Thank you.
I mean that. I'm not just saying that. Like, I fucking mean that. Like, you guys, your music is really, like, I would honestly say it's inspirational music. Like, I would literally, you don't be surprised if like my newer songs have a Lassyu sound.
That's so cool.
If he just rips you off.
It won't be on purpose. It'll be organic. I'll just have it in my head.
No, that's awesome.
Well, that's funny about our album. There's a couple songs that are my reaction songs, like it'll take 4 to 6 weeks, and I don't even realize it. Where I see a band play, and then I just play a riff. And then we put it together, and it's like, oh, that sort of sounds like, oh, okay, I get it where that came from, know. But it's not directly. I'm not trying to play like them, but it's
an inspiration.
Yeah,
it's inspired. Honestly, all music, technically speaking, is inspired by something. Whether it be another artist or whatever your environment, blah blah blah. But I mean, that's why you have influences, right? Like I don't know. I don't specifically know what your influences are together as a group. Because I'm assuming there has to be some. I mean, I saw you guys do the Portishead tribute. I mean,
oh yeah,
that's one of my favorite bands as well. Yeah, so that's
we've kind of added Glory Box to the set just because we like it so much, and it gets such a great reaction. It's so much fun to play.
They're definitely up there for me. I fucking love them to death.
We like Mars Volta.
Nice.
My Brightest Diamond, who's not so well known, but definitely look her
Should
up.
be.
She's ridiculous.
What is it? My what?
My Brightest Diamond. He actually showed that to me, and we got to see her live. Actually, she opened for the Tune Yards, and I thought she was like this. Based on her like music, I thought she was like huge. Not tall, but huge. And
she's your height or even less.
She's shorter than me. But yeah, so we went to this show, and we go in the theater. It was Variety Playhouse Theater in
we drove
Atlanta,
all the way to
Georgia.
Atlanta just to go see
My
Brightest Diamond.
Wow.
Yeah, so we like get in
Tune
the
Yards
venue.
was the icing on the cake. Yeah.
We get up there and there's like, an opening right at the front of the stage, and I'm like, what?
She's literally right there above us.
Yeah. So that was amazing. And then we got to meet her afterwards. It's like idol.
I worked my stead magic.
And yeah, she was really sweet. So.
That's cool. So you got to meet someone that will probably get big, you think? I'm assuming.
Well, she should be by now. She's been around for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, she's a professional singer, musician. She does opera, but then these are like My Brightest Diamond's like her alternative sort of band. She's done a little more dancey stuff. It's a bit different, a little weirder.
I think she just likes being underground and doesn't really push getting into bigger things, you know?
But hey, if you're opening for Tune Yards on tour, doing a bunch of dates, you're doing something well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she's opening for David Byrne in St. Pete, next week? Or yeah.
Who?
Is that the night is that the 28th?
My Brightest Diamond?
No, Tune Yards.
Tune Yards.
And
Okay.
David Byrne.
Yeah.
Is that the 28th?
I don't know.
Although I'm
Probably.
not sure how much of our crowd is going to be paying $60
What's on the
something
28th? September?
Our show with Jerry X at
Oh,
the Foo Bar.
Well, this is a good segue actually into one of the questions that I had. You guys are, well, I don't know how long you've been doing this for, but it's something that I noticed you guys do a lot that we're starting to do more now, which is go out and actually see bands.
Oh yeah.
We want to start so two things. One, we want to start just kind of a communication because Jordan Esker likes doing that too,
Yes.
So I think if there's like a good show, I think Hi-Fi, there's like a page on Facebook that like just posts shows.
No.
But I don't know. It's just. I mean, we can even just text you guys and be like, "Hey, we're going to a show."
Yeah.
I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
No, but I mean, I think there should definitely be a thing like that. I mean, I think like a lot of musicians kind of get into their own routine or into their own heads where they're practice our shows,
Right.
and it's like you should get out there. Really.
Well, it's finding bands to play with, because booking shows. I think a lot of people just kind of get on shows, but actually like going to the venues, being like, "Hey, I want to play a show," and they're like, "Okay, who do you want to play with?" Be like, well,
Exactly.
And it's fun to find those things to fill. So.
Well, we could kind of called it our mission. We wanted to like basically go to every venue in the Tampa Bay area, see every band, to see, just to
It's a lot of
be
nights
more.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of the sleepy mornings and.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were just kind of determined to like every name we'd seen, like let's actually know what that is. Put some music to it. We found a lot of. I mean, it's how we saw you guys. We ended up there at the Benz that night.
Yeah, I mean, and I'll be honest, like, you guys saying that, I think that's kind of around the time where
we were saying the same thing.
I mean, literally, you guys mentioning that, and then the fact that you invited us to play, and then that was the same. We saw you guys before we played at Green Bench, and then we played together at Cage Brewing. But that was like kind of the start of us saying, let's start doing that as well. So you guys were kind of like an inspiration to start doing that because, I mean, it's. I know I might not come off that way, but I'm actually like extremely antisocial. I'm like very like anxious as a person. Like maybe you may have noticed now I'm like a very jittery, especially when I'm not drinking. But it's been like a hard thing for me to just go and do stuff. Like I used to hate it. Like I used to get like paranoid. Like even playing shows. Like going out, I don't know if any of you guys can relate to that.
Absolutely.
But yeah, but I'm like, it's hard for me to do stuff like that. So
it makes it easier when you have a goal of being there for the band, rather than just be like, "Oh, I'm going out tonight to go where people are going." If you have a mission and you're like, "Okay, I'm here. I'm going to watch this band," it's so much easier. And if you have someone that you could go with and talk to about it, then you don't even have to talk to other people.
That's
honestly.
true.
I mean, it's nice to talk to other people, and you eventually do end up talking to other people, but. That's what I think. I think it's easier when there's like we're here to do this and this is what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of how we got to doing this was like, I would go to shows on my own. You would go to shows on your own. And then it was kind of like, wait, do you want to go to that show? And just having a good time and like talking about the band. And we're kind of like, wait, I just go out by myself. So let's just go do it together. And, it's like almost show buddies in a way.
Yeah, me or Jordan and I have started recently doing that. I'd love to obviously do that with you guys because you guys are fucking awesome. But yeah, I've been doing that more with Jordan as well, where I'll invite him out. But so you guys would go to a show regardless, even if it was like alone, right? Like
I've done that plenty through the years.
I have a hard time with
I
that.
don't think I do. go to shows alone. I don't think I have.
No, you usually have friends go with you?
Yeah.
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 Well, yeah, I mean, I'm going to have friends where I'm going, but I mean, like, where it's like, you know, going out to the place, not with, planning to see people there, but not going with somebody. But I mean, we go to tons of shows where we don't know anybody else.
Right,
there.
and he means, like, just totally, like, going to a show by yourself, watching the band by yourself, and then leaving by yourself.
Yeah.
That sounds
That's what Jordan
awful.
does. Jordan does that.
That sounds awful.
No, I go, I mean, I know enough people that it's like, even going to a show at the Crowbar by myself,
you'll see
I'll see
someone that
people
you know.
I know. Yeah,
Right.
I mean,
Which
I
is-
can't risk it.
That's the point though. Like I want to get to that point where I
You
can
don't
just
have to
do
plan
that
it, yeah.
because now that I'm doing it more, I've noticed that it's not a big deal. It's really not. But it just took me like getting over that fucking anxiety of being like,
It's
I don't
not
know.
easy.
It's not, man. It's not. I'm just getting, I don't know, more mature. I guess I have no idea. But it's difficult. I'm trying to like get over that that thing because honestly, to do what we do, you kind of have to be involved with other people. And that's been like doing this whole podcast thing. It's
It's
like
totally involved, which is awesome.
yeah.
well,
yeah.
part of what led us to doing that too is it seemed like we were playing at Fubar every 2 months, and then they were booking all the bands, and we didn't even know who to sort of call to do a show with, and we had a couple shows where they just booked some band that just it didn't work.
Yeah.
And we're kind of like, no, we're gonna curate all of our shows. We're gonna be the one
Right.
that decides who we're playing with, but we need to know who that is.
Yep.
And then also we wanted to play different venues and not keep playing the same places. So that's how we made it sort of the mission.
Yeah, that's smart. I think that's a smart thing to do. To especially like to go and find
fun.
Yeah. Well, we just did that.
It can be, yeah.
We just went to the Benz on Friday. Was that Friday?
For Pleasures and
Yeah, we didn't see Pleasures, but I went specifically because I wanted to see this band from Miami, Glass Body. Yeah, they were fucking good, man.
Yeah?
I liked them a lot. Yeah.
Did you see Garden Club too?
I did. Actually, no. She's gonna laugh about this. I said it like 5 times. I actually played with Alex, who plays keyboards for them.
I don't know.
Alex Merrill, I think he's in Dan and Alex, that other group that he has. But he's really fucking good, and I played with him in one of Jordan's tribute thingies for
When you
really?
played at
Todd Rundgren.
Skippers. Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool. That was cool. But yeah. Anyway.
If I were that dude, I would have felt really creeped out that you were there saying that 5 times. If I had heard that.
Yeah.
I'd be like, why do you keep telling people that we did that?
After the 4th time, it was me doing it on purpose. I was like, oh, you know that guy Alex? Yeah, I played with him before.
It was after the 5th time at
That's
least.
awesome.
Yeah, go ahead, man. Can you grab him a beer?
Oh, well, I
Yeah,
can't get
no.
it myself, but thank you.
You're fine.
Just push it
Okay.
over the table.
So now, okay, so you just got the Masters back, and do you guys, is that okay to talk about all this stuff?
Yeah, real quick
Absolutely.
before we go there,
Mm-hmm.
we go to shows in Tampa too. Like a lot of people in St. Pete don't do that, and they should. Like
Why? Wouldn't
because
you
the
do that?
driving. We've heard that there's like a rift between St. Pete and Tampa or something, where people don't go to St. Pete, and St. Pete people don't go to Tampa.
Huh?
It's all bullshit.
That doesn't make
It's
any
like
sense.
Orange is the New Black, where there's block. Sure, thank you. Like block gangs.
That's so
Yeah.
weird. See, like that's so yeah. So
And-
being from a different city and then coming here and hearing shit like that, I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
And we've lived in
Cool.
St. Pete, and like we don't. It's not something that we like. We hear about it. I don't know if we
Right,
actually
I
see
don't-
it, but
Well, I see it because you talked about my memory earlier. Like I scan faces, and then it's like, oh wait, I know that person. Like
It's all
who I
St. Pete
remember.
people?
There's no or in Tampa, there's no other St. Pete person here at this show
That's so
Right.
that
weird.
I'd recognize at least.
That's so, and the shitty thing is that I feel like I don't necessarily know the like. There's way more venues I feel in St. Pete than there are in Tampa. Am I wrong? Am I right?
I don't know.
There's a lot more for smaller bands.
Where in
Where
St. Pete?
in St. Pete.
Okay.
With downtown, there's a lot more for the local bands to play. Whereas, I mean, Crowbar does have local bands,
Yeah.
but it's mainly, they need to bring in the touring acts.
Yes.
I mean, the Masquerade and Ritz, those are big venues.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a couple more. I mean, what the
Hub.
Orpheum.
the Hub.
Ella's. Which
The
is
Orpheum
right there.
doesn't do a lot of local bands though. I mean, what was the last show we
The
went to?
Orpheum?
Yeah. We've been offered
they
some
don't.
pay to play Battle of the Band stuff there.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
We did that. the first year we were up here, we did this. That I don't. Did you guys ever get hit up for like Afton, that fucking weird thing?
Thanks.
Thank you.
That weird promotional thing.
We get a couple different ones.
Yeah, those things are all fucking scam. Man.
They are.
Yeah.
It's so shitty.
I can book my own show. I've been doing it a long time, and
that's the way to do it, man. It's like it sucks because like trying to get back into the scene in Miami, which you guys would be awesome.
We want to go.
Hey, if you got any minutes.
Yeah, definitely.
Churchill's, right?
Churchill's is one of them, but now there's a lot more venues. Like when we left, there was like literally nothing.
Just Churchill's.
For the most part. And a lot of the venues that were there were closing down. So
Why don't they just call it Lime?
Because it's just lime, you're right. We're talking about a beer
That's actually
that
funny.
Emily and I
What
are
is it
having,
called?
and it's
Citrus
just citrus
pearls.
pearls.
maybe they're like, let's be creative here.
Don't-
I'm guessing
Yeah,
it's a
they-
thing, though. It's a different fruit than the lime, but they might
Citrus
have...
sheep will not be named.
Citrus peels
And there's no
coriander.
pearls on the it's not even wearing a pearl.
No,
around
if
it
you
or
look
something.
closely, it's like bubbly. It's not really a lime.
They're very
Lime?
small bubbles,
It's not
but
like
you can
a
sing
lime is
the
not
bubbles
bubbly.
in the
Oh,
You
well,
see
that
what I
looks
mean?
like water.
4
It looks
parts
like
per pearl.
There just looks like water on it.
You can see it on the box
Like
too.
it was dipped in water.
Anywho, yeah. So when we left Miami, there was literally just Churchill's, and it got to the point where it's like, yeah, why wouldn't we leave? They started doing the college thing, Daniel and Kenny, and it was just really easy to say, yeah, we should probably move further north. It just
Really
made
glad
sense.
you guys did.
Yeah.
Yeah, us
And,
too. To be honest, because it actually it's cool to be able to be like, oh, we're from here. When we go back down there.
People love hearing that for some reason. We're
Yeah,
from Miami.
people
It's
love
like
touring acts, which I find strange. Like, I wish there was such a, what's the word? I wish there was activity from just regular people that live in the area for local bands as there is for a touring act. I feel like that's something that people love. They just love to harp on that. I mean, I get it, I guess, but I kind of don't at the same time.
yeah, it's exciting. They're not from there, I suppose.
It's the excitement of I guess something that's not
You
from
should
here.
see them. You don't know when they're gonna come back. I don't even know who they are. It doesn't matter. But
But no, it's weird how now the indie scene, like kind of synthy psychedelic pop scene, is starting to explode down there now, which is fucking awesome because, that's kind of what we were hoping would happen when we were down there, and it just wasn't. It was all metal bands. Not that I have anything against
Really?
metal.
Metal in Miami?
Dude, that's
You
all there
right?
was down there.
you wouldn't think.
Uh-uh.
We would get put on bills where it'd
With
be
a
like
Latin
metal,
flavor.
metal. It'd be like metal, us, metal, more metal, and it's
That's
just like
thoroughly intimidating.
like I don't know what's happening. Like there were plenty of shows that we played and we sucked too. We weren't even that good. That we would get on stage and then we would play, and it's just like the band that just went before us. There's no way that we match them. Let's hope for the next band, and then the next band would go on and we'd be like, wow, we should just go home.
Yeah.
And then we would just leave,
Kind of
know.
like soft
Like-
fucking psyche songs, and they're
Like what,
it's
Monkey?
hilarious.
Monkey's a good, like we
Well,
had Monkey back then. We had
Echoes of
3 to 1.
Silence, that
We had
was
3 to 1 back then. Well, I mean songs that we still play today.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So I would say like Monkey, 3 to 1 were songs that we were playing back then, and there was just like no way that anyone was feeling that. And then we get up here, and yeah, they're old biker people, whatever. But they were like, I'm having a beer at the bar, like you just said in your song. Fuck yeah, like that's dope. And it just worked a lot better.
I wanted to ask you guys, since you're from here, has the scene grown? The music scene here, or is
I
it?
mean, yeah, with the city, because,
Okay.
10 years
Well,
ago,
it's-
15 years ago now, Central Avenue, everything was for rent, and there was like 2 bars to go to.
Oh.
So,
It's cyclical though too. I mean, I'm a little older, but there's been the Tampa Bay area was like the home of death metal originally. I mean, it was
Yeah,
huge at
I
the
heard
time.
about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I played in a band in the late '90s called Action Figure Casualties, and at the time, there was a ton of bands in all of Tampa Bay that were really good. One moved to New York, a band called Home, and they got signed by a major label. They're still doing it up in New York. So there was the late '90s. There was a big scene, and then it seemed like people moved away and it kind of like all fell apart. Early 2000s there wasn't a lot. I mean, the Emerald started doing shows, and that was like...
That was about it. And State Theater had touring acts, which was good,
right.
but not for that. Not for
We can't hear you.
You weren't even saying anything.
I hear people talking, and there's a gap.
Emily likes to point at people with her mic that she's supposed.
Yeah, you were pointing it at me a second ago when I was talking.
That's always, these microphones always remind me of Willy Wonka when he was interviewing. He was like, volleyball guy. Or Mike TV, I think.
I wish we had video.
Bang, bang.
That might be the next step, is doing video
The
as well.
upgrade.
Yeah, because there's so many like little nuances that people do that I find so funny, like what you just did there, a little twirl. But no, the
It'll
condenser
just
mic.
sound like...
It's like listening to a comedy record, you know, a great
Exactly.
comedian, but you don't get to see
Yeah,
it.
everyone's laughing. You're like, what are they laughing about? But going back to the community aspect of it, okay, so this is something that I've been wondering myself. Do you feel that nowadays you don't necessarily need to move to another city, into a bigger scene? You can kind of just do it from here and kind of tour.
If you want to tour the whole time.
Yeah.
You mean making a living?
Not necessarily, just, I guess, I don't want to say
Making a
better
name
scene.
for yourself within the city?
Kind of that,
Well,
yeah.
just a name for yourself, but living here, but making a bigger a national name is what you're
Technology,
saying?
yeah.
Well, because the thing is, the one thing I've noticed, at least, insane. I know, it's like I got like weird fucking.
He just looked at these powers.
It's like
Yeah, that was
Give me
weird.
your
Like,
idea.
my hand got like numb there. Maybe I'm having a
it
stroke.
still works.
Look at that pinky go.
I'm sorry.
Wait, did you drop
Yeah.
acid before this?
No.
just kicking it now.
No, that'd be crazy. Fuck, what was I
So
saying?
guys, we're going to
No
talk
one
about
knows,
that
dude.
unicorn that's sitting next to you.
So we're
Bojack.
You guys
we're
see
here
that
talking
shit,
with
too?
Bear and Pikachu. What's going on? How's Ash Ketchum treating you guys so far? No, I guess the thing is that I feel that the community here of
Pikachu.
people just going to shows that aren't necessarily musicians or artists, that's starting. I feel like it's starting to become more of a, I guess, regular thing. Like the Benz is a good example of that, in my opinion. But I feel like in New York, for example, people just go to see shows regardless. You get what I'm saying? Regardless of who's playing, they just go out. I don't necessarily know if that's the same comparison in St. Pete, but in Tampa or whatever, typically it's like the bands have to they have to draw the audience. What do you guys think about that? I don't know if that
That's
was like a
what you're
question.
getting at.
Kind of, yeah.
Well, some places, like, say, the bands have a built-in crowd.
Yes.
Not all the people are going there to hear the bands in the back. I mean, the Benz is weird. You'll have that back room, the people that are into the bands. Then there's the people just getting drinks, and then the people up front that are
Don't
there.
forget the bathroom line.
The bathroom line. And then the people in the alleys and peeing everywhere in the back. But, like, there's people that go there just because it's the Benz. They don't really care about the music going on. It's the hip, cool place to be.
That's true.
Which helps the bands because you're getting a percentage of the pay of the drinks. So
Yeah.
awesome. I don't care if those people are here and not
Yeah.
paying attention.
That's a good point.
So it
though.
depends on the venue, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah,
Green
some-
Bench, same thing. There'll be people there on a Friday or
Right.
Saturday night,
Just
regardless
because-
of
Yeah.
the music.
We just played the Hub Saturday night. We had two of our friends come out. That's all we knew from St. Pete. The
Shout out
divide.
to Leslie and
Yeah,
Shannon.
yeah,
Thanks
thank you
for
so much.
coming
Yes, Leslie. Yes.
But there was a built-in sort of hub downtown crowd that a lot of new people for us. That was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The
yeah.
Hub is one of those places. I like that place a lot.
That was our first time playing there.
Yeah, it's
We've been
great.
wanting to play there.
Yeah, that place is nice.
Well,
it's not nice.
I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Well."
It's
rad.
It's cool to play at.
Well, like Cage is the same thing. They sort of have a built-in Friday night crowd in some way. you
Right.
know?
Right.
Some places have that, but yeah,
I think Foo Bar now you have to definitely have a following because the smoke. They don't really have a crowd there anymore.
right.
oh,
Unfortunately,
did they used to?
They used to when
Well,
you
there's
could
more
smoke
options
inside.
too.
Hmm?
There's a lot more options
Yeah,
to go
that's
to as well.
I feel like it's right when they cut off the smoking is when they lost all their regulars.
I mean, that place. I've
right.
seen
I
some-
remember going there and smelling a bunch of cigarettes, and then I remember going there and not. Oh,
I've,
they did that.
Maybe they gain people too. Who knows?
Who
I've
knows?
seen some crazy shit there.
I've heard about some crazy shit.
Yeah,
there.
like I don't know.
and seen it.
I guess like okay, so
lived it.
Allegedly,
I was
saw
it.
a group of guys walk into the bathroom and what allegedly seemed like they were doing heroin.
They were shooting up something.
Yeah, I saw that.
So
That
3
was
guys
fucking
walk in, and that's
crazy.
never normal because dudes don't do that. Like, hey,
Yeah.
let me
Yeah,
hold your
that's
pee.
Unless
true.
there's
Or let's
drugs
do
involved,
drugs,
yeah.
Even if they're
Unless
doing
they're
coke,
doing-
they'd probably go in the women's bathroom, you know?
So they
It was
just
weird.
boop, 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 boop. 3 guys
Yeah.
walk in, and I'm just there. I'm like putting my drum set
Well-
together. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, that's because she was setting up the drum set.
Because, like in that hallway where the bathroom
Yeah,
is? Yeah. So that's where I'm putting my drum set together before I put it on stage because there was a band up. 3 guys walk in.
Did they like
One,
stumble out?
2,
No, they're smiling
and then
and
the
laughing.
third guy. That's what I mean. Like, one walks out very slow. The second guy walks out. And then the third guy walks out holding the bag of drugs.
Oh my god.
Which from me
Forgot
just
to put
looking
in
at
my
it, I don't know what it is. It just looks like white powder, so it could be just about anything. And I'm like, ooh, putting on
Let's
my
give them the
kick
benefit
pedal.
of the doubt and say they were just eating a lot of sugar.
Yeah. It's having a good old sugar
That one
rush.
sugar.
Had a boiled egg in
Powdered
their
sugar
pocket.
addiction.
Salt.
Guys, you want to have a boiled egg
I
in
got
the
a sweet
bathroom?
tooth, man.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, we saw them later that night, and they looked like they were having a blast. Yeah, they were just dancing.
Freaking out.
That night we played, and that girl was wasted.
She was on.
super,
I think
super-
she was on bath salts or something.
She was definitely.
Screaming about
Another
something
level?
and just like
Yeah, and
It was-
then
yeah.
then like laying on the floor back by the bathrooms or something, just
Really?
like
Laid out.
yeah, and saying something, and then she like left. I guess, or maybe Todd was trying to get her a taxi or something.
Yeah.
And then the next day, her mom put out some missing persons alert,
my
Oh,
God.
shit.
and she was
dude.
missing for like the next 24 hours or 36 hours.
They found her.
Yeah, but like
Wow.
it's like, yeah, but from our show, she sort of went missing.
Was she young, like a young gun?
Yeah,
Yeah, she was probably
early
21 or
20s.
22.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Dude, at the Benz, I think it was after one of our. I think it might have been the night that you guys saw us.
I think it was the night you guys saw us.
a chick. I was I guess putting shit away, and a chick grabbed me by the arm, and she goes, "He's trying to kill me."
Oh my god.
Yeah, and I was like, I couldn't tell if she was joking because people were weird like that. They'll just like pretend, but she didn't. Her face was very like still, like she wasn't laughing or anything. She didn't look
Stoic.
scared either. She was just like that, and I was like, "Are you serious right now?" And there was a guy right behind her, so I was like trying to whisper to her, and she's just like, "He's trying to kill me. He's trying to kill me." And I was like, "Are you serious? Like, are you kidding me right now?" And she's like, "No, please help me." So I took her to the bar, and I was like,
Cut her a shot. It's like, it's all gonna be
I was
okay.
like, yeah, I was
And
like,
they're like, you're on candid camera.
no, it was super weird. She didn't have any shoes on.
What?
Yeah, she.
Was she young?
No, she must have been like my age, I think. Probably
Yeah,
24.
So she was young.
Is that young? I guess, yeah. I
I'll
don't know.
abstain from that.
But yeah, like I just ended up getting the guy's attention, the bartender there, and I just told him what happened.
So, yeah, and as he was walking up to the bar with this chick, the dude tries to get in between them, and I get in between him and the chick and the dude, and I'm like, what are you doing? And he's like, no, you have no idea. He basically is saying that she's crazy, that she's just making shit up. And I'm like, dude, okay, well, right now you look insane. If someone is, like, accusing you of trying to kill them or rape, you just walk away. Like, you just leave. And the dude wasn't leaving, and I was just like, what the fuck is going on right now?
She was claiming that they had never met before.
He
and
was
then
claiming that they had.
were dating.
Yeah, that they had, yeah.
And
It was
then
just
the
weird.
bartender was like, "Yeah, I know that girl. She's crazy or some shit like that."
Yeah.
They ended up calling the cops, luckily.
Well,
but
it's like, well, explain that to the officer.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
exactly.
get no
That's not my
shits.
problem.
We left her charging her phone right by the bar with the bartender, like, paying attention to her, and then we're like, let's leave.
I told the guy before any of that. Anyway, like the guy was just like, "Yeah, she's fucking crazy or whatever." And I was like, "Dude, you need to go. You need to go now. Like, if what you're, regardless of what you're saying is true or false, like she is obviously not interested, so you're not gonna fuck her.
Yeah.
So get the fuck out of here, man, and just go home. Like, leave her alone." And he didn't. That was the thing that was
That
like,
was a red flag, absolutely.
Yeah. I was at the end of the bar. She was on the other side, and I was just looking at her. And then I saw him walk towards the middle, and then he just stood there, and he was just like staring at her. I was like, and I was like, "Dude, call the cops, bro," because I don't know what the fuck's
Wow.
going on here. It was really weird. Anyway,
At Foo Bar, I heard that there was a drummer that on stage stuck a drumstick up his butt.
What?
That's awesome.
That would only happen.
Probably the Murder Junkies, Gigi Allen's old band.
What the fuck, dude? Why?
Why not?
Why not?
Was he
Inspiration.
If you hadn't done it already.
Oh my god.
Yeah, if you do it once, you probably have done it already.
People will remember your band.
Yeah,
they
that's
won't
true.
forget
Dude,
that.
that drummer ended the
They'll-
show by shoving
They'll
a
tell
stick
people
up
all
his ass.
about it. They'll remember you for the wrong reasons, but they'll remember you.
Yeah, there you go.
Holy
You just
shit.
got it on the head. I was about to say, like, yeah, you might be remembered for that, but
For that,
not necessarily a good
no
thing.
idea how they sounded like, but that drummer stuck a stick up his ass.
It's so weird, man.
Oh,
What the
man.
fuck?
Man, one of my craziest shows like that. It was back in '97. The band Action Figure Casualties. We went on tour in North Carolina, and we were playing at in Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
Mhm.
It was, what was it called? God, I don't remember the name of the venue, but so like I guess a night or two before, the big group of kids had a falling out with the ownership of the place. So there's literally like nobody there. We're playing, but there's a couple of like vampire kids come in. We just start playing. We're like, we're here. Let's just do it. And so it's like 4 vampire kids, and then this bum comes in off the street.
Nice.
He's like, big dog, yeah, big dog. He just keeps screaming, big dog. And we're trying to play our set and like get into it, but it's not working. Big Dog comes up on the stage, takes Jer's mic or his beer off of his amp, and just starts drinking it. The vampire kid in between songs goes and gives Mike this picture, and it's just like this hand all pale and it's like cut on the wrist, bloody on the ground. He gives it to him in the middle of the set, and we're kind of like, you guys want to go? After 4 songs, we're just like, yeah, forget this place. We're out of
That's
here.
fucking nuts, dude.
Yeah. We didn't even care about getting paid. We're like, let's go.
Let's just go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was imagining a South Park episode.
Yeah,
When you
that's what
said
that sounds
vampire
like.
kid. Like
The
I was
goth kids, yeah.
the goth exactly
Right,
that's exactly what I was
right.
imagining, and then a bum walking in, absolutely they've done that.
Yeah, it was sort of a South Park episode, yeah. And we slept in the van at a rest area that night, yeah.
Exactly. You're like, we're out.
See ya.
That's
Fuck
fucking
that.
That was my first experience with
They were like,
Winston-Salem.
sweet, free band.
Yeah,
Nice. Just have the freaks come in and freak them out every time. We're good.
I want that job.
it's always
Just
fun.
being a vampire kid. Just carry on like crazy FBI photos.
It's always interesting when weird shit happens. At these venues. Like there was this one time we were playing at Uncle Lou's, and like a fucking fight broke out between I think a homeless guy and a regular or something. They may have both been homeless. I don't know. It was super strange, but the end of the story was that one guy got his head pushed into the fucking glass and they broke the glass.
Jeez.
Yeah, it was like fuck. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
That dude,
man?
like, just wrecked that guy. Like, he literally just, like, picked him up, just went, bah, and just bashed him into the window.
Crazy.
And we were just like, I was sitting, like, we had finished, and I was sitting there having a beer with my friends that live in Orlando. Like, yeah, oh my God. They were just like, we're going to go. I'm like, yeah, no, you guys should go. Thankfully, we had everything packed. I think that would have freaked me out more.
Oh, for
if my
sure.
shit was inside or something, I'd be like, fuck, now I
Yeah.
have to go inside. Now I have to get my shit.
Especially with the horror stories of people getting their shit stolen, man. Like I'm scared of that happening to us, you know.
That was a crazy night, though.
But okay, so we can start wrapping this up. We're at like an hour and 20
We get
minutes.
to rap at the end.
Huh?
Yo,
You wanna
yo,
rap?
yo.
So I guess do you guys have a date that you're planning on releasing?
October 20th at the Bends with King Complex and the Boats. It's gonna be
It's all
insane
laid
to
out.
the memory.
I fucking like them, man. Yeah, we saw them at Green Bench.
The Boats? Yeah, they played with us.
Ah,
in Dead
that's
Cities. Mm-hmm.
Bam.
And you've
That's
seen
awesome.
King
Those are-
Complex?
No, I haven't seen
Those
them.
are old friends of mine, the Boats. Yeah,
Oh,
the
really?
band Action, they're old like me too. So the band Action Figure Casualties, we used to play with them all the time back in the 90s. The reason they have that Todd plays trumpet is because when I quit Action Figure, our trumpet player went and played with the Boats.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
Oh,
and then
wow.
Jared got a girl pregnant and moved away, and I haven't seen him in years. But so now Todd instead of playing bass, he plays trumpet, and they have Andy playing bass in that. But
Oh shit.
yeah, they were awesome. Yeah.
Damn. So you guys are playing the 20th?
October 20th.
That's
yeah.
awesome. We literally just got hit up today to play a fucking show. So.
Yeah,
Where at?
On that date?
Lucky
date
you.
too.
Lucky you.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. Come
Or
watch
come
us.
by
come to our show,
afterwards.
yeah.
I
No,
mean,
yeah, definitely do that.
Well, it's the band, so it'll be
actually-
late. Yeah.
Actually, it's in St. Pete. Yeah, that's right. I just remembered that.
Isn't Lucky You in Bay
it's
Pines?
by, yeah, it's like
On the
20
way out to
minutes from
Madeira Beach.
downtown.
Yeah.
So it's further south.
Oh,
No.
west, out by
West.
the beaches.
Yeah.
But yeah, we haven't played there yet. I'm interested to know because I've seen a lot of shows that have been going on there.
Yeah,
so they
we're
must be
waiting
doing
for
something
the
good.
we're waiting for the bass player to say yeah. So we'll see.
But anyway, so October 20th, we'll definitely come by and make sure to see you guys.
The next show is the 28th at Foo Bar with Jerry X and Changer
and
Victor Alvarez. And then I just gotta look at the flyer. in my head.
October 12th at Ella's
with
Folk.
the boats.
with
Oh,
the boat.
nice. Oh, Ella's here?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, fuck yeah. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
we'll be as a duo for that. Danny's possibly going to play the Foo Bar show with us, but at the release show, Danny's playing and we'll have a full
That's
band.
great.
That's
Yeah.
awesome,
Oh,
man.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited for that.
And we're about to finish up. We just got a couple little details to do on the album artwork and send it out to get manufactured. And
Bada bing, bada
about
boom.
3 weeks from now, we'll have them in
Album.
hand. And
Man,
Yeah.
I'm so excited for that. That's
Oh,
gonna
man,
be fucking awesome.
we're so excited. Like we were talking about the Rock Garden earlier. It's by far the best recording experience I've ever had. Whether the whole thing, like working with him, the product, even the art. I'm just super excited about it. Like everything, it's just been great. So
That's
interested to
fucking
hear what
awesome.
people think about it.
Dude, I'm sure they're gonna love it, man. Like for sure. And I'm assuming some of the songs that you guys are playing live now is on the album. So.
Yeah, it's pretty much
yeah.
our set.
Yeah.
Yeah, then it's gonna be
Plus
it's gonna be
Anchorage and Garden Variety.
Yeah.
Yeah.
great. Well, that's fucking awesome. I guess any social media, anything you guys want to plug? Like, where can
Yeah.
they find you?
Yeah.
Plug it up. We're learning how to do this stuff.
Yeah.
Instagram, Lassyu Music, and
You have a Facebook page as well.
Facebook.
Yes.
If you just look up Lassyu, that's a cool thing about our weird name is that nobody else has it except for some guy in like
Named Alessio. in
and
Spain
his
or something like
and
that.
his Instagram handle is
He probably hates us now.
Yeah, but
That's
he's like
funny.
this like swapping thing.
So there's
guy.
like 2 Lassyus in the world.
You should take a photo
With
exactly like that and make it the photo of your
I feel like he would
face.
be so mad at us.
Just take a picture off the
Yeah.
internet, and that's our album
Someday
cover.
we'll meet him, but until then we'll
when we're
take
touring
over.
in Europe. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
But that, like she was saying, that's the cool thing with our name is that with billions of accounts in the world,
course, yeah.
you type in Lassyu, Lassyu, and we're gonna show up right there at
Yeah.
the top. So.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah, I remember finding you guys was actually extremely easy.
Good.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that is good.
I
We
told
have-
him I met this guy when you saw us at the fence. There's this bass player of this band, Lassyu, Lassyu,
Yeah.
Probably.
See you.
Is this them? Yeah, that's the dude. He had less facial hair though. I don't know.
Yeah, it's constantly changing.
Yeah, I thought you guys were Mexican when I first saw the EP cover.
Yeah.
Gracias.
Yeah, and then I saw
She's
it.
Irish. She's Irish.
That's so funny.
It's like the opposite.
Muchas gracias.
But yeah, I'm excited for that, and thank you guys for coming. We'll have
Thanks
all
for
having
that.
us, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is fun.
Tons of fun.
We'll do it again for sure. You guys, I could honestly, there's more stuff that I could talk to you guys about. I just don't want to keep you too long, but I already have.
Ask away, man.
No,
I got that much beer to drink. So.
no, but yeah, I'm super excited for this, and yeah, I'll make sure to put everything on our channel. All
Well,
the
not
stuff, and,
everything.
Yeah.
all your social media.
Yeah, we have the Bandcamp again. Lassyu Music. There's
Bandcamp. That's right.
the original, the first EP we did, plus the song
GNC.
GNC,
Yep.
which is free to download. The EP is only $5, so if you can't afford $5, then you should get another job. For obviously you should support local music. What else we got?
Love.
Instagram.
Thy
You said that.
They have SoundCloud.
No,
Your
not
neighbors.
well. Yeah, actually, we do. I think there's only a couple tracks on there, but every
I
yeah.
don't think they.
I don't know.
We might have done it once to enter a contest.
I think so. Yeah, like Reverb Nation to enter the 97X one. Just
Spotlight thingy.
Yeah, we just created it just for that. But all the new stuff will be on there. We might want to do like a song or two release, like pre-release, so people can get a little dose of it. Now that we have the master tracks.
Well, fuck, then keep your ears peeled for that. And yeah, again, thank you guys. Thank you guys for coming on.
Thank you for having us.
Peace.
You can use a banana